This felt like a simple goodbye. But the moment Kenneth Walker called it Chapter 1, everything changed. Because players don't close chapters like that unless they know it's over. And now the real problem for Seattle isn't the post, it's figuring out what comes next after losing a player they built around. This might look like just another goodbye post, but for Seattle, it feels like the end of something bigger. Because when Kenneth Walker III posted that simple message, "Thank you, Seattle," it didn't come off like a casual offseason update. It felt final, and Seahawks fans knew it immediately. Because this wasn't just a highlight reel, it was framed like a story. Chapter 1. That's what he called it. And the moment you see that, you understand exactly what he's saying without him ever saying it directly. That chapter is over. Think about the timing. This didn't drop randomly. This came after Seattle made a very specific decision. They let him walk. No franchise tag, no last-minute push, no attempt to keep one of the most explosive players from their Super Bowl run. And just like that, Kenneth Walker III was gone, off to Kansas City. New team, new system, new expectations. And that's what makes this post hit differently. Because this wasn't a player forced out unexpectedly. This was a player who knew. A player who understood the business side of the NFL and still chose to say goodbye the right way. The video itself tells the story. It starts with draft night. The Seattle Seahawks select Kenneth Walker. That moment. That beginning. Then it rolls through everything that followed. Big runs, explosive plays, moments that helped define a championship team. And layered over all of it, that tone. Gratitude. Brotherhood. A final shout out to the fans. The 12s. That's not how players talk when they think they might come back. That's how they talk when they know they won't. And here's the part that really matters. This isn't just emotional. This is a football problem. Because while fans are processing the goodbye, the Seahawks are dealing with what comes after it. And right now, it's not pretty. You lose Kenneth Walker III, and suddenly your backfield doesn't feel stable anymore. Zach Charbonnet, recovering from a torn ACL, uncertain timeline, no guarantee he's the same player when he comes back. Emmanuel Wilson, a depth piece, not someone you build an offense around. So now what? Because replacing a player like Walker isn't just about finding another running back. It's about replacing identity, explosiveness, game-breaking ability, the kind of player who changes how defenses line up against you. And here's the reality Seattle has to face. They didn't just lose a starter. They lost a difference maker, the kind of player you don't easily replace in the draft, the kind of player contenders usually fight to keep. Meanwhile, Kansas City saw the opportunity, and they didn't hesitate. 3 years, big money, a clear message. This isn't a depth signing. This is a weapon. And that's what makes this even more interesting. Because while Seattle is trying to figure out what's next, the Chiefs already know exactly what they're getting. A proven playmaker, a player entering his prime, a player motivated by a fresh start. Which brings us back to that post. Chapter 1, because that phrase doesn't just close a door, it opens another one. This is Kenneth Walker III saying, that wasn't the peak. That was just the beginning. And for Seahawks fans, that's the hardest part, because they've seen what he can be. They've watched him take over games. They've watched him be a key piece of something special. And now they have to watch him do it somewhere else. So what happens next? For Walker, it's simple. New system, new spotlight, a chance to prove he's not just a product of Seattle, but a star anywhere. For the Seahawks, it's a lot more complicated because now the pressure shifts to the front office, to the coaching staff, to whoever lines up in that backfield next season. Because replacing production is one thing, replacing impact, that's something else entirely. And that's why this goodbye matters. Not because it was emotional, not because it was well produced, but because it made one thing crystal clear. Seattle didn't just lose a player. They lost a chapter. And now they have to figure out how to write the next one.